Okay, in this video we're going to start looking at the code blocks and how we're going to get those into our project. That's just to add some syntax highlighting around our code blocks. So to do that, we're first going to need to cover off the root wrapper concept, which I've sort of picked up from other people doing this in Gatsby. One to note is Chris Biscardi. He's got a great Egghead IO playlist, which I'll link in the video description. But for now, we're just going to go over the, like I said, the root wrapper concept and how that works. Basically, we want to render, excuse me, our components as high up the component tree as possible, and we'll be doing that with the Gatsby SSR and Gatsby browser. Gatsby files, which use the wrap root element API. So we could do it in the individual files, but we're just going to use one. So and then import that into both the Gatsby SSR and the Gatsby browser files. So first up, what are those? Gatsby browser is used for things that you do client side, and Gatsby SSR is used for wrapping the server side rendering elements of your app you want to use. And we're going to go into that a bit more now. But first up, we're going to create the files, I guess, which is going to be the root wrapper, which we're going to import in turn into the Gatsby SSR file and the Gatsby browser file. But before we do any of that, let's commit our code from the last video, which I'm quite slack at doing, but we should do it now. So let's go here. Let's do that. This is previous and next. That. And what do we have in previous and next template? So previous next navigation, and bang. Commit that. And then what we've got here, let's do Control B, get a bit more space going on here. This is for our MDX post, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do putting this in here because this is H2. Open there. Okay, because we're going to be using this in the example we're doing. Let's just this post do. Okay, close that. Let's go back to normal screen size. Oh, sorry, half screen, split screen. Control B. So what we want to do is heading is render out this. We want to control how the each page element is rendered, and we can do that with Prism. Well, don't do it with Prism React Renderer. We use that for the actual styling. We use the MDX provider to take care of where things are rendered in the component tree, and we're going to go up as high as we can in that. So let's do is it Alt Shift E? Get your file explorer. There we go. So basically, we're going to want to do on at this level with the Gatsby config and Gatsby node files, and we're going to create some files for both Gatsby browser and Gatsby SSR. So let's just do that. Touch. I've got my IntelliSense here from where I've done it in the past. So we're going to add root wrapper, Gatsby SSR.js, Gatsby browser.js. And for Gatsby SSR and Gatsby browser, we're just going to import the code we're going to be doing in root wrapper. So I've already gone over this, so apologies if you get fed up with me repeating myself. And let's just save this, and let's go to the root wrapper. And then in here, we're going to be using the MDX JS React package. So import from package from MDX JS React. This is the MDX provider. Okay, and that's going to wrap everything at the highest level possible here. And then everything we're going to pass into the provider is going to be our own components. So from here, we're going to export the const to wrap root element. Okay, and then in here, we're going to use element, and this is going to be an return, and that's going to be the provider. If I could actually its provider type. Cool, and then this is okay, and then we're going to want to return the element. Cool. So what we're doing here, we're also going to want to in our provider is where we're going to want to return the components as well. We're going to create. Cool, and then components are going to be our objects of components. But for now, to demonstrate this, we're going to have the H2 and the children of that. After that, a fat arrow. There's another implicit return, and then basically we're saying for each H2, we want to give it the style of something really obvious for now. Color. Rebecca purple. And that's going to have the children. What we need, I think, so save. Got the dev server currently running. And this is the H2 heading hasn't been changed because I think we're going to need to kick off the dev server again. And it's going to pop open another window on here. But we'll close that. Concentrate on this one. And this is the H2 heading. Isn't taking any styles. So what have we done wrong? OLOR. Let's save it. Oh, const equals components. Yeah, I'll do it, Scott. Save that. If this is going to re-render, we're probably going to need to kick off the dev server again. Okay. Okay. So basically, these components are being bundled up and passed into the MDX provider, and then the MDX provider is rendering everything within Gatsby underneath it. But I've just come to the realization why this isn't working now. We're not actually using any of this root wrapper in the Gatsby browser module or the Gatsby SSR module. So let's cover that now. It says do Control P, and we're going to do Gatsby browser, and basically we want to import what we just created there, rep root element from the root wrapper, and it's going to be a wrap. Use rep root element as wrap from root wrapper, and then we're just going to export that with as the rep root element API you get with Gatsby. Try saving that. See if this updates now. React must be right, okay, cool. Okay, cool. So yeah, because I'm exporting JSX here, so I need React to be in scope. Okay, there we go. So from here, this is where we sort of control the appearance of our page elements. So any H1 to H6 paragraphs and inline code and code blocks. So that's what we're going to be covering. We'll cover it in another video now. This would just be like an introduction, but for things like this, it'll be a pre, and then we will just create our own pre component, which is where we're going to start manipulating the code with Prism React Renderer. But another one you can do in here is things like inline code. So if we go to our index here, and rather than have this which would be coming as a pre tag, we can just have things like classic console log. Save that. So this one here will be classed as inline code, and we can start working with that in parentheses, and it's like dot notation. So you see p dot inline code. Different because this just takes in the props, and we return those props inside the code element. So in here we'll just say code, and then we'll do the style. We'll pass in, spread in the props, and then we'll do the style. It's going to equal light grey. So color, background color even. Close this. Hit save. Wait for our page to re-render, and then we see we've got our background color here applied. So that's it for an introduction. What else I'll do here is we'll just copy this because we're going to want to have this on the server as well. So we're going here and we'll do SSR, and we're going to put this in the Gatsby SSR, and then also going to go in here, take a look at what we changed. So commit this. Okay, so Control Enter is to actually commit, and then this is just going to be root wrapper, and then we've got our root wrapper here. So root wrapper.js. Cool. So now we've just covered that. The next video is what we're going to close that. So cool, we've gone over that. Next video we're going to go through using Prism React Renderer and viewing some nice code blocks in our blog here, and maybe adding in some more more styling for our components here, because it's looking a bit basic.af. So we'll do that in the next video. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.